The Southeastern Conference is home to some of the best uniforms and helmets in the country. The SEC has ample tradition, and it added even more great jerseys in 2025 with the additions of the Oklahoma Sooners and Texas Longhorns. College football has some of the best uniforms of any level of football. We'd argue the SEC is a powerhouse in terms of football uniforms in addition to being dominant on the field. There is no primary uniform in the SEC that we consider to be ugly. Branding is a key part of today's college football world. Some of the nation's most iconic brands are recognizable by even casual fans. And when it comes to television, the helmet/uniform combo is among every SEC program's most important form of branding. Which SEC teams have the best uniforms? SEC Worst to First Series. College towns, head coaching jobs, stadiums, helmets, logos, live mascots, traditions, loyalty, student enrollment. There's just nothing special with Mississippi State's jerseys. Nobody really considers Mississippi State football to be a must-watch program, and the Bulldogs' bland uniforms do not help much. The Bulldogs have improved the look on the front of their jersey some over the years, but nobody is buying Mississippi State gear just because it looks cool. Similar to Mississippi State, the Texas A&M Aggies just are not doing much with their look and color scheme. Texas A&M does not have our favorite color combination either. The Aggies share similar colors to Alabama, Oklahoma, and South Carolina, but we don't like Texas A&M's jerseys as much. We don't love it, but it is not bad. And it reminds us of Vanderbilt football, and that's not always a good thing. Vanderbilt does have one of the better color schemes in the SEC, but their V logo is not the best. Vanderbilt has changed their logo and uniform combinations a lot over the year, so they don't have much tradition either. There's no Vanderbilt name on the front of the jersey, which is a little strange too. The Commodores are going for simplicity, but that's not always a good thing when it comes to uniforms. Not bad at all, but not a great jersey either. Missouri has a similar color scheme to Vanderbilt, but uses more black, which we like. We like the gold around the white lettering. The stripes on Missouri's jerseys and helmets aren't bad, but we've seen better. Missouri's logo is better than Vanderbilt's. The Gamecocks have a similar color scheme to both Texas A&M and Mississippi State, but a much better logo. South Carolina has clean lettering and easily identifiable jerseys. I personally love the helmets and the look. Kentucky trots out in different uniforms often, and if you ask me, they are usually on point. We like Kentucky's checkerboard style, which is usually part of their uniforms. Kentucky has one blue, gray, white, and black uniforms at different points in recent years. Kentucky has a clean logo and nice lettering on their jerseys. We're big fans of Kentucky's silver helmets when they break those out. We like Auburn's classic uniforms, but don't love them. Their white jerseys are pretty clean and they are consistent. They are not better than the rest of the SEC. However, we admire Auburn's commitment to wearing the same traditional jerseys. I think others would rank Auburn's uniforms higher than this. Arkansas has one of the best logos in the SEC and wears red and white often in just about every possible combination. Arkansas keeps it simple, but it looks good. We like the red stripe on the Razorbacks pants. Unfortunately, the Razorbacks don't play as good as they look. Big, bold, and orange, the iconic Power T withstands the test of time. It's right there with Georgia's G and Alabama's A as the nation's most recognizable single-letter logo. But that's just the helmet. The rest of the uniforms is classic and shouts Rocky Top. Orange is not our favorite color, but Tennessee pulls it off better than most. The Gators blue is iconic and a classic. Goes well with the orange, and that helmet screams college. Jordan sponsoring Florida does not help the Gators when it comes to football. Florida wears orange, white, and blue pants, but our favorite combination is probably blue jerseys and white pants. Crimson and white dominates Oklahoma's color scheme. The Sooners do a much better job of using a similar color scheme than South Carolina, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State. However, we still have Oklahoma ranked behind Alabama's classic uniforms. Oklahoma's uniforms are very recognizable, as classic as it gets. Alabama's uniforms are as consistent as the football team and invokes fear in opponents. The Crimson Tide's helmet is awesome, and every fan knows what Alabama's jerseys look like. The Crimson Tide keeps stick to tradition and don't mess around with alternates. Alabama has arguably the best uniforms in the country, but they aren't number one in the SEC. Texas Burnt Orange is the best shade of orange in the SEC and possibly the entire country. Texas, like Alabama, has a very simple but very recognizable uniform. Burnt orange and white is all the Longhorns ever play in, and there's no reason for them to try alternates. We love the Longhorn logo, even if we associate it with fans throwing bottles on the field. LSU is intimidating when the Tigers are playing well. From its mascot to its stadium, the Tigers do more than enough with their uniform to keep the fear alive. LSU's purple and gold go very well together. The Tigers have a unique helmet with their logo and the LSU lettering. They are close to having too much going on, but we really like the LSU color combination. LSU is going to be fun and will look good in the Lane Kiffin era. It's clean, project strength, and is an iconic image. I don't know if there's a more recognizable helmet and uniform in all of college football than Georgia. Georgia's red jersey and silver breeches are an epic combination. The Bulldogs almost always stick to tradition, but have some nice alternates. Fans and recruits love Georgia's black alternate jerseys that Georgia does not wear very often. If you don't like this, you don't like college football. The powder blue with the white helmet is as good as it gets. Ole Miss has excellent helmets and an ideal color scheme. The cursive Ole Miss lettering is awesome. You don't have to like Ole Miss, but their jerseys are fantastic. Joe Vitale also contributed to this post. This article originally appeared on UGA Wire, ranking SEC football uniforms from worst to first.